Good morning, students. So, in this video, I'll be discussing with respect to mutations serving as raw materials in evolution. So, in the last classes, we had discussed about the role of mutations. We have discussed about different types of mutations actually, whether it is the chromosomal mutations or different types of molecular mutations, and how exactly these mutations will bring in change in the genome of the organisms. So the next question is, once these changes are brought into the genome of the organisms, what will they do in the organism? What will they do for the organisms? Okay, sometimes they can be negative, they can be positive. So what they do, they have some impact, and that impact will may result in making the organisms evolve to different conditions, because of, of, after all, mutations are due to the induction. Either it is due to the spontaneous inductions or due to the man-made inductions. Ultimately, these are because the organisms are have faced a certain level of changes in the environmental conditions. Because of that reason, these mutations will come into place. So when they come into place, as when they come into place, they bring in change in the genetic materials. So, and these changes can be advantageous or they can also be deleterious. Okay, so and these mutations serve as the source for the formation of new alleles, because if there are no formation of new alleles, definitely there is no possibility of evolution of the organisms. So because of these formation of new alleles, because of the formation of new alleles, the alleles can be in different forms. Either they can be dominant or recessive, or they can also be sometimes neutral, multifactorial, pleiotropic. So there are n number of different types of formations, n number of different types of contribution given by these alleles, which ultimately are formed due to the mutations. Okay, so and these alleles will bring in variations within the populations and make the organisms either susceptible to the environmental changes, or they make the resistant to the environmental changes. And because of that reason, there will be different types of variants which will be present in the populations, and they all will be selected naturally by natural selection. And because of that reason, they the one which is well adapted to the environmental conditions, or the positive mutations which make the organisms more reproduce or more reproducible in nature, will result in passing to the next generation, and all these organisms will be resulting in formation of new species from the existing populations or existing species. So that's how the mutations play or impact the evolution of an impact in the evolutionary mechanism of the organisms. So now this diagram, using this diagram, we can very clearly understand that there is some level, there is a species and a X species, and these species will have different types of populations or different number of individuals, and these individuals will undergo mutations, which results in formation of different types of populations or species at the first level. And now the one which are favorable will proceed to the next generation, and the one which are deleterious will be deleted out from the population. And as the next level of mutation takes place, they either go positively or they undergo negatively, and they revert back and result in formation of different species. And there again, the one which is more reproductive in nature will move to the next generation. So the process will continue as and when there is involvement of mutations into the populations or induction of mutations into the populations. So first of all, how do we how do we have to look at these role of mutations in these populations? So we should have some reference point, and for that reference point we have two important scientists. One is our great Darwin, another one is Hugo de Vries, who coined the term mutation, which we are actually discussing about. So what are their views with regard to this mutation and evolution? So Darwin is well accepted, mutation and de Vries is very scientific with regard to his views. So let us see how we can correlate those two views and bring out with our own ideas about this mutation and evolution. So as far as Darwin is concerned, very important, Darwin is concerned, according to him, mutations, evolution takes place by bringing in minor variations within the populations, So hence, according to him, variations are due to the small changes which makes the organisms encounter small changes which are brought into the organisms due to the change in the environmental conditions. Example, we have Darwin finches, where the beaks will get adapted according to the food items. Okay, so hence, according to Darwin, they will be direction. They will have a direction with regard to the evolution. Okay, so variations are directional, and they are always for the positive or for the betterment of the organisms, and the bettered organisms will be selected automatically by nature, that is Darwin's natural selection. And as far as Darwin is concerned, very importantly, evolution is a gradual process. Okay, so this is about Darwin's views. Come to, in contrary to Darwin, Dewey will supplement Darwin's views by telling that evolution does not take place gradually, but it is because of the sudden changes. Okay, of course, sudden changes which is brought into the species by the change at the genomic level, and that is either gradual or either spontaneous or induced. Okay, and these changes will be a normal process, a spontaneous or a normal process, which will be keep on occurring because of the, and hence they don't have any direction. If they want to utilize, sometimes they may be applicable, sometimes they may not be applicable in any way. They may be positive sometimes, when they may be negative, and sometimes they may be neutral, they become neutral. So but if the same type of, if a mutation occurs in a larger level, okay, at the chromosomal level, due to deletion, duplication, translocation, inversion, any of the reasons, then definitely that level of mutations will result in bringing in change in the nature of the population or nature of the species, which results in speciation. Is it clear? So when we are writing the answer for this, we have to very essentially involve the views of these two scientists. Let's see next. So as we have to as we came to know very clearly about Darwin and Dewey, now let us combine those two views and see how exactly they are literally playing their role in breaking the new species into the nature or into the environment. So one example here I will be taking is with regard to the snake's digestive enzymes. Okay, so as we know very clearly, most of the organisms have digestive juices for digestion purpose. But here the snakes, that is specifically snakes, what did they do? They started utilizing and in some cases that digestive juices is poisonous for some other organisms. But here the snakes went on to develop a mechanism as a defense mechanism by utilizing the venom itself to protect themselves from the other organisms. Okay, so that they can utilize these juices to kill the other organisms. So and ultimately what happened next, when there was changes brought into the genome of the snakes which had developed a very poisonous, which had become very poisonous, started increasing their number in more increasing their number reproductively. Okay, as they reproduce more and more, their number increased. Because of that reason, the one which had more poisonous will survived more in number. Okay, whereas the one which had less survived less, which was less poisonous survived less in number. So this shows that very clearly that the adaptive radiation, or you can say the adaptation or the changes, if it is positive to the organisms, make the organism more fittest to the environmental conditions. Okay, so this example you can use to explain the role of mutation and the role of gradual adaptation to the environmental changes makes the organism fittest. Okay, so this is the interconnection between mutation and evolution. Continuation with this, what will happen? This gradual accumulation, that is the tiny point mutations, will definitely make the organism fit into the changes and result in bringing new alleles. Okay, so one of the example we can take is the DDT resistance. So we are all familiar with DDT's as resistance. So, and another example is the Bitillaria population, or you can say moths, with during the industrialization process in the 1900s. Okay, where the moths which were smoky, or you can say black in color, survived more after the industrialization process. Before that, the white moths were more in number. The same happened in the same way here in case of mosquitoes. You can see when the DDT was brought in for the first time, that DDT was recognized as a magic bullet by the epidemiologist, thinking that they can clear the malaria at one go by utilizing DDT. But what happened? Some of the mosquitoes were already resistant, or they developed a resistance after spraying of the DDT. This resulted in producing mosquitoes, or you can say developing mosquitoes, which were resistant against the DDT. And today, what we have, we have the populations which are DDT resistant in nature. So like this, there is two possibilities. One is the DDT would have brought in the change, or the organism already had anticipated for some changes and resulted in keeping a variant, or had a variants which were resistant against the DDT. Okay, so it works in both the ways. Is it clear? So like this, okay, so like this mutation will serve as the raw materials for evolution. Okay, and these evolved organisms becomes fittest in the environmental conditions. So as far as examination is concerned, you may be asked a question to write a note on the role of mutation in evolution. So what we have to do, we have to define mutation first, then explain how alleles are formed. Okay, so we know very clearly the positive alleles, negative alleles, dominant alleles, recessive alleles, or the pleiotropic alleles, or the multifactorial alleles. Like this, main number of alleles are formed, and these alleles will work with regard to either with respect to the views of Darwin, or with respect to the views of Dewey. Of course, I have written the name, spelling mistake. So, and we have to describe this example with respect to utilizing any of the organism, either the snake, moths, or mosquitoes, to show how mutations will serve as raw material for evolution. Is it clear? Okay, so this make sure that this concept is well written in the examination. Okay, thank you.